Hey guys, welcome. Today is going to be diagnosis, a chance for me to jump in and use your tactics and share some insights into your tactics. This is a show that happens every Wednesday. Links are going to come in straight up, and I will be taking all those tactics that use this link. So if you're lucky to get into the show, if you're here, you're a diehard fan, and I hope you have a tactic that you want to share with me. So welcome to the stream. How are you doing, man, Chico? Yes. Sad news for Liverpool fans, of course. I'm not going to be dwelling on Diego Jota because I don't think it's cool to talk about it too much. Plenty of jokers using it for no rhyme or reason. TikTok videos creating foundations in his name and trying to terrible. There's some low lives out there. All I can say, low lives to take advantage of situations like this. Me, on the other hand, feel sorry. I am sad. There will be no streams next week from probably Tuesday right up to Sunday. I will not be streaming. I will not be around. So let's get this show cracking with the first couple of tactics. Man, hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. Yes, the tactics are coming in, and we've got a few in already. We've got this tactic here that is coming in from Simji. Now, this is a strikerless tactic. The goal of this is if this tactic is coming off Discord, we play them for 45 minutes. If they're coming off the link I just shared with you guys, then we will talk about the tactics and maybe pick one or two. So whenever I look at a tactic, I like to think of how it sets out, right? I don't look at mentality because mentality really is risk and how it affects passing. But the most important thing here is to understand your own tactical system is basically to look at your block. This is your block. So your mid block, the team is going to start trying to win the ball somewhere at the halfway. Okay, there's a high. The think of the pitch divided into thirds: the final third, the middle third, and the lower third. So if you have a mid block, you're generally trying to win the ball in the middle third. Now a lot of that pressing is going to be started or triggered by your strikers. Now he doesn't have any strikers, right? So how does that work then? Then you look at the chances of it happening is going to be really in the midfield line. Now your pressing can also be affected by a defensive line because your back line is going to be positioned high up the pitch when you don't have the ball, right? So this higher defensive line could be higher. For chances are most people who play these kind of strikerless tactics like to play much higher defense. They like to squeeze that space up. But here he's got a mid block and a higher defensive line, so the back line is going to support the attacks quite reasonably well, quite aggressively actually. Fullback is going to keep the ball, move up the pitch. Volante is charging up the pitch. The AM is just going to close down more. You've got close down more across the park. He's got room from position for the inverted winger. One thing about the inverted winger, he starts wide, moves into the half space. So with the roaming, he could end up in a few other positions, like somewhere around here, here, here. So those are positions he might take up, depending on what he's got here in possession, because in possession will influence where these roles are going to end up. Focus played on the left and focus played on the right affects these two guys primarily. What it does is it moves asks the central midfielders to move the side of the focus, thereby giving you more passing options. So if he's got focus play on the left and the right, it just means that this Volante might be closer to this side of the pitch, center, just off the center to the left side to support play as it builds up, and then same thing applies on the right. So the link-up play is going to be important. So here we're looking at the structure of the tactic next. Fullbacks, they tend to give the ball to somebody who's close by in case they find that their passage down the flanks is obstructed by another player, so they tend to be quite safe. Now, I typically like to play a ball-playing defender beside a fullback, but here again, there's nothing wrong with it. Depends on the attributes of the player. Sometimes they got dribbling first touch. Then these players will also bring the ball forward. Milos, how are you, man? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. You just got home. That's nice. It's pretty good to be home just in time for the stream on. Hope you're well. Okay. Anything is super, okay, no problem. We'll just put up the link one last time. If you are here on the stream, use the link. Otherwise, c'est la vie. Okay. All right. That's this is not too bad. DM is got tackle harder. I don't like put tackle harder on these guys. I really don't, because it's dangerous to put, because they tend to get pulled out of position too easily. Because tackle harder is just when you apply tackle harder, you will notice that they don't stand. I mean, you kind of like one place to come to you, not you go to them, thereby creating space. But of course, in strikerless tactics, because there's a lot of overlapping involved, so it's good to pay attention. I typically don't use it, but I know a lot of people do. So it's I would look at your team as well. But I usually just take it off the middle. Okay, that's the way I play. Okay, the ones we got a fair aggression, jumping reach none. 11 McGinn, Diaby. So we don't really have. We got Ramsey here. Is not. We want to put. Okay, it's 14, 15 off the ball is 14, pretty decent, I guess. We can also ask Ollie Watkins to play, because his finishing is 17, 12. So having him, he can play on the right or the left. But looking at it, he's got a very good. Decent right and left. We'll leave Diaby here for a while. No, in fact, we'll just have Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has got aggression. Okay, so we'll play Ollie on the flanks. Okay, here we go. Okay. And we're off. Boom. All right, so we're going to look at this tactic and we're going to try and determine how they play, right? Oh, no. We go extended. Only commentary is not enough. So, the strikerless tactic is all over Aston Villa at the moment. You want to play strikerless tactics on attacking or very attacking mentality. You don't want to play them on any lower mentalities, because you need to. The mentality affects the initial positioning of a lot of the players, right? So, when you play on an attacking mentality, the initial positioning of all these players is actually higher. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't have a striker. So that's the reason why. I'm not a big fan of strikerless tactics on Football Manager 24. But they can still work. Yeah, well, so far nothing's been happening. There's no, looking at his team instructions, there's no work ball into box, not necessary with strikerless tactics. But one thing I'm surprised with is no counter press. Yeah, that's the only surprising thing here. Because with the players densely packed, they will be in a very good position to counter press. So they lost the ball and McGinn wins the ball back. McGinn went all the way back to help them defend. And he is using a high defensive line with the mid block. So the back line is supporting the transitions up the pitch. And the defensive line also affects all these guys as well. So Moreno wins the ball, Pau again. There's our wing back. Goes to Douglas Luiz. Buendia looking for options. Finds Watkins. Is the opening goal. Which one of the reasons why I wanted to use Watkins. Now, Watkins is bravery, aggression, right? I like these kind of players because they are likely to do these kind of runs, get into the box, and then, be willing to flirt with challenges. So, Ollie Watkins broke into the box. And I didn't pick Leon Bailey because Leon Bailey's bravery is only, 8. I like aggression, work rate, stamina, especially in strikerless tactics. I again went through the middle. That's really sad. Could this have been avoided? Yeah, probably. This Volante on attack. You see, the Volante on attack is the real reason why that fell apart. So it's either we get the whole team to move forward. The Volante on attack was the reason why this failed. So what we're going to do is make a slight change to the tactic. I'm going to do like what I normally do with a lot of these tactics, which I call focus play left and right. Now, if I focus play left and right, I really don't want this to happen because I need the build-out play. I need them to come back and help with transition. So there are two things we can do. We can just play them as two double segundo volantes. That's fine. Okay. Now we're going to remove the tackle harder as well. Now that, when he went forward, that was triggered by tackle harder. So I'm going to remove tackle harder, both of them. Okay, why don't we do this? Okay, we just put DM on support and then we leave him as a volante on support. There's no tackle harder now. Okay, that's the only difference, right? Okay, so we remove the attack duty here, and then we'll just add a counter press, and we carry on, right? Yeah, we carry on. Some people like a lot of attacking duties in their tactics, in strikerless tactics. Okay, now this is like more possession based, I guess. Okay, Douglas Luiz goes back. Now, I think we're not going to see the same kind of gaps opening up, which happened earlier. Okay, so now it's a lot harder. They're having to shoot from range. Now I'm going to try something different. Okay, we got this guy on support. We got this on attack. We're going to do an offset here. So I'm going to play him as a wing on attack, or maybe even an inside forward on attack. Because then I can... Buendia is AM on support. What we want to change this to is add roam and move into channels. Get him to make a lot more movement left and right and up and down. Buendia's numbers are falling because the Volante and the AM are literally playing next to each other. Yeah, we'll just see what happens next. Because the other option is to go Shadow Striker, but then he'll have to depend on the Volante is going up. Then it doesn't really become a mid block, it's more of an attacking tactic. Yeah. So far, we're doing much better after the change. Now, you want to play mid block, so I get what you're trying to do with this tactic. But we also want to have roles that attack. Now, we only have one role attacking, is the Shadow Striker. Okay, so therein lies the danger. Because if my only path is that one player, then I have too many players trying to like transition up the pitch in one happy group in a mid block. So what I've done is just remove the Volante, taken the Volante off attack, put him on support. Gives you a lot of... it makes the center a bit more stronger. Then I've also removed the tackle harder on the two so that they don't get pulled out by the need to tackle someone when they're in the zone. All they do is they stand their ground. Then what I've done is I've also added in, given an attack duty on the right flank. You can play around Daughter there too. This role can be around. Look at Buendia. Now his numbers have gone to 7.0 compared to just now 6.2. This role can now play. He can be a variety of roles. We can also play him as a Ram Daughter now. You can play him as an inside forward, a Ram Daughter. My first choice would be inside forward because the AM is roaming. So if he might end up in a position where he creates space for the inside forward in front of him on the half channel. So both can work. But chances are, if I'm playing a strikerless tactic, I'm not using Ram Daughters because I want everybody to do their defensive work. Well, that's the thing about Ram Daughters. The game seems to recognize when you're using a role that is not friendly, you know. But so far, I think the best role would be inside forward. Now, we've also tactics like this, right? The moment you have a situation where you need to bring on players, you better do that, and we have to do it. We didn't do it earlier. Fresh legs get a bonus, man, in this game. So I think I will remove the tackle harder on the 2. I would definitely add a counter press. If you want to do regroup, but this leaves, if your decision making in your team is high, then go for this. Yeah. If your decision making is low, then choose whether it should be counter press or counter, or regroup rather. Oh, they scored another goal, but this one I think is offside. Yeah, I think the inside forward would have been better. Not around that. But you could play both. The inverted winger now becomes more of a interesting creative force no, on the left. The left can now be a playmaker as well. Yeah, I think this role, you can change this role to a few roles. You can play AP here as well. Roaming from position, or you give him a sit narrower, he can come into that zone here. I mean, it could be quite a funky tactic, man. You can play this as an AP, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you can play that as an AP, then give him that sit narrower and roam from position. Then he just pops up in this in the pockets behind those players. So what happens at AP, right? I just thought of that because when we was playing the tactic, I realized that that is possible. So I mean, if I wanted to, I probably first thing I'll come in here is I'll remove this tackle harder. Remove this tackle harder. If you want to move into channels, is bang, 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 bang. It's not happening in Volante on attack. No point asking to move to the Jawa. You want him to come here. That's a lot of work now you're leaving this group to do on the defense, right? So I would probably play him as a Volante on support. It's either I play everybody on attack and get them up the pitch, because strikerless tactics, right? I'd rather like have everybody attacking. So like wingback on attack, DM support, Volante support, fullback attack. Then I get this whole group attacking, and then I'll play this guy as an AP. He'll drift into this pocket. We roam from position and sit narrower. Then we have this guy as an AM on support, roam from position. He can end up in these positions. So these two actually become attack duties. Yeah, so that's one thing that you can do. And it gives you a bit more bite in the final third, especially if you're doing this as a mid block. Okay, next tactic. Okay, we got Brentford 1. It's a 4-2-3-1. Cosmos, how are you, man? Welcome to the stream. Intanin, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are having a great day. The start of a beautiful day. All right, we got Buendia. Let's take a look at this tactic. Again, this is a pretty standard setup for a tactic. You know, you don't want them to be too high up the pitch. You don't want them to be too deep. Yeah, this is standard. Choose standard. Yeah, it's good. Prevent shot distribution going to affect this four. Okay, that's cool. Now we pay attention, find out what these four guys are going to be doing, because we are trying to play in the opponent's third, but we are depending on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to do the main work. Then distribute the center backs. You're playing from the back. You're playing out from defense. So if you do something like this, you're basically saying, hey, telling the opposition, come onto me when I'm trying to build a ball. I come onto me because I want you to give up space down the flanks. When you do that, are you attacking the flanks? Not attacking the flanks. See the dilemma now you have? Yes, you can build up play really quickly, but you're attacking from the back. So these guys are quite high up the pitch. And then you've got these guys on support duty trying to link up play. My advice is, whenever you do play or defense, you want to make sure that there is an attacking outlet, that you're trying to go from back to front really quickly. Now we'll see how this tactic plays out. Normally, I would probably, when I play our defense, I will probably look at roles that allow me to attack channels. For example, I will probably, yes, a pressing forward is a good idea, but the focal play of attacks, the king of the focal play of attacks is the advance forward. Right. So let's look at how we do when we get player or defense. The only time that applies is when you have player or defense. Otherwise, your team is going up as one unit, because most of them are, it's one unit. But it's the it's the fullbacks and the wingbacks that are positioned slightly higher. So most of your attacks are really going to only happen in the final third. And the problem is that when you have that kind of a setup, these spaces become vulnerable if you can't get an attack going. So you see, you're not stretching teams here. You got an inverted wing on support, you got AM on support, inside forward on support, you got pressing forward on attack. There's not enough pressure on the opposition, especially when you have a Volante coming up and there are 4 guys now here and 1 guy holding position. So what your tactic is actually doing is it's waiting for the fullback and the wingback to actually get up the pitch before it becomes very attacking. So you don't have a plan B. So I don't like tactics. Nowadays, I kind of favor like option A and option B, meaning I might have a fullback attacking on one side of the... Either everyone is attacking or one fullback on attack on one flank, and on the diagonally on the opposite flank, right, is a winger on attack. So I've got two options in my attacking transitions. Now you're depending on one option, one guy dribbling up the pitch, vacating space behind him. And on the other side, you've got a fullback going up the pitch slowly with a volante. It should really be fullback on the left, wingback on the right. Not fullback on the right to accompany the volante. So you've got a wingback and a DLP. So first out, let's change this. Okay, let's swap these two roles. Why? We get a fullback on attack and we get a wingback on support. That's the first change you're going to. Because this tactic isn't done yet. This is like the first basic change you're doing. And the second thing we need to do is we have to give our player or defense a reason for being there. It has got no reason now to be there. It's like inverted wingers coming inside here and the other joker is coming there. But now what I've done is with the wingback and the volante, that's a good synergy because the both are going forward. They are both going forward. Now on the left, you've got DLP who holds position. He's still going up, but he holds position and he's playing with a fullback. Now the fullback is not, he's going to pass the ball back to the DLP. Great synergy. Previously, we had a wingback with the DLP. Now the wingback is going to be encouraged to take on the flank, so that wouldn't really have helped us. So now we're getting a bit more attacking transitions in the game since we made that simple change, the two roles. I think that without changing too much in your tactic, just make those changes first, right? You don't need player or defense in this tactic because there is no reason for it to exist. Player or defense, forget it. You got no hope of scoring goals from player or defense because there is nothing happening in your tactic that says, I'm attacking somewhere. Now, if you wanted to have player or defense, you got wing back here, we got inverter winger here, we got fullback here, we got, I mean, if there's anything, I probably might even try this guy's in inverter winger on attack. So he comes into this position, you know, drives at the box. I don't know if Diaby is any good in that position. He's got a strong left foot. Okay, we'll try him. I mean, on paper, this is about as far as I'm going to go with player or defense. Okay? This is as far as I'm taking it. Because I don't want to change. I don't like changing tactics too much from the ones you send me because I think this tactic is fine. Right? But with the exception of the two role changes I just made, man. Aurelios, how are you, man? Still nice and warm over here. I hope all is well with you. Hey, all is good, man. All is good. So we now scored another goal after making that change. So apparently the AI seems to like it. Yeah. Do you know that when you make a change to your tactic and this bottom here doesn't say it's processing and it goes straight to the next highlight, it means that that change that you just made is the right change. Wow. Since I made the change, we've had 3 goals. We had 1 goal with 1 change and 2 goals from the last change. No, this is not chat. So 2 goals. You know, the Douglas Luiz is an idiot. Should have scored. You done okay. Positive is not a bad mentality for this because we don't really want the team to take too many risks with passing. Okay, now that would happen on attacking. Positive, the passing lengths are actually shorter than attacking. And balanced and cautious. So really, you know, it's like, okay, I want to play short passing, but I want to be a bit, take a bit of a risk. Okay? Positive is better than balance. Hey, Big Sam, how are you, man? Bagaskara, you sent your tactics in as well. Cool. Okay, so look, we made a couple of changes, not too many, and your tactic is singing sweet songs after that. So much better. I mean, yes, listen, you might score. If you score set piece goals, doesn't mean your tactic is no good. Okay? It just means that you did something right. And we've been playing much better. I think there's a lot more synergy between a volante and a wingback than there is between a fullback on support and a volante. See how these two are now working up the pitch, and the inverted winger on attack. He is putting pressure on that final line as well. The pressing forward is not a bad role. I do like the pressing forward. I think the pressing forward is pretty underrated. I mean, not as much as the poacher. Like the best role in the whole damn game, as far as I'm concerned, is a poacher. But using a poacher requires a bit of thought. Because when you use a poacher, it's all about getting plenty of players goal scoring options. Hey, okay, done. 9 shots on target. Baby, that's sweet. You don't deserve a dismal showing. Yeah, we're torturing this team. All right, so that's great, man. That's very nice. Brentford's all we do with this tactic is fullback on attack here, wing back on support here, inverted winger on attack here. And then that's if you want to maintain your player defense. Okay. All right. This is creates a lot of synergy because now you've turned this entire side into a bit more. There's a bit more bite on this side of the tactic because these two roles work very well together. And here the fullback on attack with the DLP on defense is brilliant because then we don't need to depend on the wingback dribbling the ball up and going, oh my God, what am I going to do if I'm in trouble? Okay. But now we got fullback on attack with the DLP on D. That's it. This takes care of this because the fullback is not going to dribble like a moron. He's going to go up. Oh, I don't have a passing option. DLP won't be too far away. He'll just try and hold up the ball and pass it to him, or he'll look for somebody else to pass the ball to. That's fine. Yeah. All right. So next tactic we got is what have we got here? Where's the folder? Okay, there we go. Foxes for BYT real fullback, false winger. Okay. Real fullbacks and false wingers. False wingers, I see what you've done. So you want them to start from a wider position, but you wanted to cut inside with the ball. Okay, interesting. That was last time anybody did that. Anybody like me did that was way back in FM 20 or 21, man. When Leicester won the league title. That was the last time I did that. That was the last time, man. That was such a long time ago. Algorithm is suggesting older tactic videos. It's okay. My great. No, that's because I think the algorithm is using the fact that I got so many views, but it's okay. On those older videos. I'm waiting for FM26 to drop. I don't want to do some redundant like video. Or this is what FM24 team instructions are. Forget it, man. I've got this problem. It's called a damn conscience. So I don't do tactics on this show. All right. With can equals focus play, but still accurate. With is been influencing where the passes go since 1999. With has always influenced passing. Most people don't realize it. They go like, oh no, it's a new thing. It's been there since 1998, baby. That's it. But most people seem to want to, I don't know. Yeah, I just leave it at that. I'm not going to dwell on it. Yeah, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say anything. I'm too old for this Mickey Mouse shit. And I don't care about, I honestly don't care about what people think of me. Seriously, I just got to see it as I see it. We conceded a goal to Kudus. Oh my goodness. 4-1 now. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at why this failed. All right. Where are these guys? We'll look at this funky shape that we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holding hands. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't know what to do. Diaby is here. Watkins is here. McGinn is here. Look at these guys running back now. And these guys coming in. So we're all out of shape, Yeah. There's something funky happening in this tactic. It's called step up more. That was step up more. In white crosses, everybody's tucking inside, right? So what will happen is these guys are not going to engage first. These guys are going to engage. But the problem is these guys are on attack duty. Because they are on attack duty and you told them to sit narrow, they are going from one position to the next position. And you told them to tuck inside too. Because sit narrow. You see what I always tell people is always pay attention. Wait, let's see if you see. No, I think it's told them to cut inside with the ball. So they cut inside with the ball. They went inside with the ball, and they're still there. And then if you during the counter press, you're in trouble because counter press would mean that they have to come backwards. Okay, so let's see here. See, this PI has got cut inside with the ball. So it goes when he has the ball, he comes in here, but it won't affect his initial positioning, which will still be wide. Oh man, this sucks, man. Oh, retro, I can't really help you, man. Yeah. Retro database, not retro, not 2013, FM 2013. I wonder, if somebody actually did that. I think once somebody did that. Yeah. I just saw a video where someone gets direct passing in CDM position by putting in CNN drawing. The garbage lah. There's no such thing. Or is it direct passing on the slider? That's just UI glitches. The problem is this game has got a lot of UI glitches. Doesn't mean that, now he can direct pass. The problem is, in this game, everybody has got passing lengths, right? Okay. Now, you might see a player make a direct pass on Football Manager. It's because his attribute is probably 13 for passing and decision-making is 10. That's it. Yeah. Half of the stuff, I wouldn't bother. Okay, so we got to go back. I don't know, was it a UI change that caused it to happen? Because I know that you can change the passing, the description, right? By making a few minor changes, like boom, this guy, this position, that guy, that position. Oh, you get a new role, or you get the passing lens to change. That's about it now. It's been like this for a long time. Let's carry on watching this tactic. McGinn, Moreno, Zena. So far, I mean, the tactic isn't that bad, but step up more needs to be removed. I got to remove the step up more instruction. I'm waiting for halftime. Tick, tick. Let's go. Can I? Thank you. Okay, we're there already. First things first, remove this. I'm going to remove invite crosses as well. Because then we got Cash. I think he's on I think we leave Cash on. See whether we've got any other funky stuff. Cut inside with the ball. Everybody's cut inside the ball. Why? Why is everybody cutting inside? Then you got widest player holding out the ball looking for inside runs. Huh? He's not making inside runs, bro. Widest play, this guy is not making inside runs unless you do sit narrower. Yeah, then this guy is sitting narrower. Then he might make inside runs. That was confusing because when you use underlap, it's for someone, not for. We put it there because now we expect this guy to run inside. Okay, so the widest play is these two, right? And the Enganche is like by himself like that. He's gonna have terrible ratings. 6.7, yeah. Or when you could control all slide, give the CBs direct passing, the player mix and you could do that. Because it's possible for everybody to have different passing lengths. It's a legacy of the old Football Manager. Nothing to do with a new thing or a tweak or whatever that we have made, or we found something new that we can do hidden. A lot of people, to be fair, right, everybody's looking for that golden nugget. I discovered this in the game of Football Manager. There are some things that are new, I would agree. Yeah, but I'm one of those that is very wary of UI-related discoveries. A UI-related discovery is nothing. Yeah, because half the time is a bug. I remember once somebody was a content creator, right? Or rather, I wouldn't describe him. He's not video-related content creator. Okay, basically, he went and told everybody that this is the way the inverted wingback works. He was so proud of his own tactic that he was going like, this is how it works. And then I knew that that was not by design. What he was actually seeing was a bug, right? So I told him, look, dude, this is not by design. It's a bug. That's not the intended design of the tactic or of the role. Then he insisted, no, but this is what the role does. Then as I said, no, it isn't. And there was a big argument. I was like, I was being very polite. And then he was very vocal. So I had to go and get SI involved. I politely asked SI, can you answer his question? Because I think it's a bug. Yeah. As I was right, as I say, I was right. It is indeed a bug, and him explaining the way he is explaining it makes it seem as if it's a legitimate design, and he's advising everybody. So everybody who tried it in their own saves, it couldn't work because it was a unique bug that was happening in his save for their role, the way it was working. So I kept telling, no, there's a bug. It's not the way it's working because you have a unique combination of roles and duties, and this bug happens on when that is. So he was hell bent on his own approach. So this happens a lot. So nowadays I don't get involved anymore. So when people say this is the, I like, yeah, happy, enjoy yourself, because the guy, he got a bit too emo for my liking. Imagine a 70-year-old man behaving that way. I remember having to write down and carry down all specific to my tickets. Yeah, I know that. That was a long time ago. That was when we could actually write it in a form of CSS and then put it into the game. Do you know how long ago that was? I took out a note. Used to take out a notepad, right? And you can actually transport all the settings into the game. Yeah, long time ago. No, DLP doesn't always look for longer passes. Yeah. Doesn't always look for longer passes. So the game ended. So I would definitely suggest that this doesn't make sense. A winger attack cutting inside with the ball, and this guy is cutting inside the ball, and your underlap says widest player hold up the ball, looking for someone inside run. Where's the inside run? There's no inside runs happening in this tactic. So honestly, I would probably go fullbacks here on attack and wingers on support. Then you have plenty of funky looking inside runs, because then these guys are sitting narrow coming through the middle, if that's what you want by design. What will you do to fix a tactic that generates higher XG but strikers? Okay, if your tactic is generating high XG per shot, not high XG as a total, you're looking at high XG per shot. That means you're getting into very good goal scoring positions, and if strikers can't score, then you have to train your strikers or get better strikers. Because your tactic is working, it's just that you've chosen the wrong players for it. I always thought a DLP would naturally look for longer range passes. I think of Alonso, Pirlo. No, it is not part of the concept. The problem in Football Manager is there's a lot of decision making that's driven primarily by the attributes of a player. So which is one of the reasons why I always tell people in the game of Football Manager, look at the player first and his attributes to decide what he can do. Don't choose the role. Then when you go to the role, he will probably be able to play that role really well. And he will use his decision-making attribute to decide accordingly. Now, the thing in the game as well is your passing sliders. If your sliders are set to standard, you're giving the DLP the option of playing short, medium, or direct passes. If you set the slider to short, that DLP's passing is also affected. Now, the only thing that's triggering his longer passes is not going to be your passing slider anymore. It's going to be his take more risks, hard-coded instructions. So when he sees a chance to play that pass, he will play that pass. So that's the reason why a lot of the time players make decisions. Players are perform their actions based on what they can, what their attributes say. Say it loudly. I've got your tactic. Taking a look at it now, and then after this we'll pop in and look at all the other tactics. Okay, so we're gonna take these tactics out. Download. Done. Always take a look at the player's attributes first. The way I play the game is very different from a few people in the community, because I don't look at the attributes initially. I look at the role because I know where that role is going to be. I look at the role for a positional point of view and how they connect with other roles. Have you ever played Days? I don't even know what Days is. Okay, we got winger and support roaming from the CM attack. Mazzala coming to half space. Winger being wide, also roaming. Got fullback on attack, very nice. Take fewer risks, dribble more, take fewer. So you wanted to dribble, and that's why Poacher holding out. This is a very interesting tactic, because this tactic doesn't have a lot of punch, right? So it's why he's got a Poacher, interestingly, because a Poacher will look for players behind him. Now he's got a Mazzala. So really, this tactic comes into its own when you're in the final third. You know, what Spurs fan? Was your tactic a 4-1-4-1? I don't think so. If it was a 4-1-4-1, not so bad. But one of the tactics didn't do well, 2-1. I think that was the one that had a lot of inside runs. I think that was yours, right? You should have fullbacks on attack should sit narrower. Because your underlap wide. Yeah, the two underlaps not really helping your tactic very much. Because let's face it, it's either you do overlap with the tactic or you just, if you underlap, then the fullbacks have to come inside. They have to sit narrow. The fullbacks were not sitting narrow. So the underlap, we got the wingers on attack who are cutting inside with the ball, right? But they have nobody to pass it to. Yeah, they have no one to pass it to because there's no one coming inside. You got ball winning midfielder who's not running forward. You got a ball winning another defense duty not running. But then finally you got the Enganche there waiting to do something with his life. So he also was struggling. This tactic doesn't have so much complication, so many moving parts are like, trying desperately to, I'm not saying your tactic was trying desperately, but your tactic was trying to create a style of play that would also struggle against sudden formations. So this doesn't do that, doesn't make that mistake. So he's got options, so he goes wide when he needs to and he goes in. Now, what I like about these kind of tactics is going to be this. If your tactic has got work ball into box or lower tempo, what will happen is you will get into the final third with numbers. Then the poacher will sing if he got a good player. So, a lot of it is going to depend on your poacher and, of course, your ability of your team to bring the ball forward. So, okay, Pau has got the ball. Torres, Konsa, Pasir Luis has got, he can't play the pass. So that's terrible. Okay, why did that happen? Okay, when Luis had the ball, there was no attack duty on his left or his right. Right? No one to give him the ball, and he got closed down really well because that trigger positioning is too close to the other player. So he lost the ball. So he's a DM. He's probably, he ran out of passing options. He also could be concentration. He failed to pay attention because he did get tackled from behind, right? And he lost the ball. So what we can do is, I think we have to drop the tempo and then go a bit higher up the pitch because at the moment, the opposition are too close to our third. It's quite a few changes we're going to have to make. Okay. And we're going to have to make a few changes to this tactic fairly quickly. See, I got... Oh man, how many players are going for the same ball? Look at this, man. Thank God, right? They don't have a role here. They got away from... They're getting away. They got a 4-2-3-1. João Pedro is having... you think that João Pedro would struggle, right? But he's not struggling at all. He's having the time of his life in this tactic. Again, that's NCD, can't bring the ball forward. You're roping it out the poacher, and we concede another goal. Okay, problem now is that we're not getting enough legs to bring the ball forward, and because we're using a poacher, the poacher is actually a link player for other roles. Okay, so he is isolated up top because we can't get the ball to him. Okay, so what do? We got to do a lot of work. Libero NCB, NCB poacher, probably not a good idea. 3 goals. We have to wait until halftime. Yeah, NCB to poacher, not a good one. Got to make a lot of choice. Yeah, NCB is having a good game, I know, but okay. It's a role in the DM, no defend duty, please. Support. Okay. Alright. Fullback on attack is leave Gonzala. CM on attack. DM Gonzala going here. CM running away. Winger. Libero coming here. This guy is up here. This guy is coming in here. No, I'm going to do something different. We're going to play inverted fullback on defense. Or we're going to play inverted wingback. For once, I'm using inverted wingback on support. Okay. So we're going to... No, this is even more stupid. Okay, this is really stupid. We're going to put a Libero on this side. Okay, Libero here on defense. We're going to put the NCB on this side. Okay, then we're going to play your fullback on the tank this side. Okay. This is actually dangerous because it's a one-man defense. Yeah, this is a one-man defense. Very dangerous one-man defense. So we're gonna do inverter fullback on defense. I'm gonna go a three-way defense now. This guy's a stopper. Forget playing a stopper. Defend duty. Because he has to play as a last man. The libero's up here. You're getting too many players going forward to win the ball and nobody is actually staying back. So this way you get a three-man defense. Okay, now we got Mazzala. We get Mazzala in the half space. You get this guy to jump up and at least give us some support on that side. Okay, so now what we have is an inverter fullback here. Inverter fullback, we got a three-way, and then this guy comes into the center. This guy can be a DM1 support. Stay on feet, drop off more. That's fine. Yeah, we're dropping off more, then this guy should really be a pressing for another tank. Because a poacher, yeah, a mid-block poacher can be quite tough, unless you're really... You can see that this team is even struggling. Wider, we want to use the flanks a bit more. Tempo, yeah, tempo should be slightly higher. I mean, I wanted it... The problem is with the poacher, right? It's got to be slightly lower to get others involved into play. But then, we're too defensive. Okay, so mid-block, stay on feet. Stay on feet. Nah, they will still do that. Mid-block, drop off more. Wait, does he have trigger? Okay, no. Okay, distribution over opposition defense. I mean, you got players flanks. Why you over the defense, you only got one striker against two defenders. Here, I got two players against one fella. Better odds. Better odds. Somebody you got width, right? You're playing with all that width. Yeah. So I'm changing slightly. So either you go with two defend duties and two defend duties and two fullbacks, or three duties like that and then one. That way I can try and attack them a bit more. Yeah. Okay, we got Watkins on the break. Come on, Watty. Ole! Gets us to go back. Yeah, baby. One go back. We got a long way to go. Okay, now we got one go back, right? So let's try. Okay, I still like the idea of three at the back, so we can protect ourselves on a counter from that 4-2-3-1. So we're gonna jack it all the way up to attacking now. Good. Mings wins the ball. Zaniolo is on attack duty. He's gonna put pressure on them. That is good defending. Diaby, McGinn. Come on, Miggy. Diaby on support, plays it. Hey, we almost got inside with another chance. We almost got a second goal. Yeah, go Pau Torres, Ollie Watkins. We're going from back to front pretty fast now. Because now we got one attack duty on the left, and then we got one, because our transitions are not much faster. We got pressing forward, winger. We don't waste for the others to come in, right? So you can do it like this. This is one way of doing it, okay? The other way of doing it is to do it like, okay, I don't want to play... This is a bit more this is a bit more dangerous. Yeah. Okay, so we go with a three-way defense. Okay. We'll get this guy to be a fullback on support since this guy is doing a lot of running. Okay. So that's now we have in the first version I'm an attacking. If I lose the ball, I have three in position, right? To for what we call the rest defense. So I prefer the first version because if I lose the ball, I'm still in a solid shape. Okay. Now, this version is slightly different. It's got, so I'm just made a change. So we scored 2 goals with that version, right? So now I got this version. Sorry, no, double NCB. We go with ball playing defender on defense. So what we have now is 2 attacking winger coming into this side. Press Mazzala in the half space. Fullback coming here. This fullback going around him. Which is kind of not necessary. He's not really going to help. He's just going to aggravate the situation. But yeah, this is different. So we got fullbacks working because we're using full width of the pitch. There we go. This is the reason why they want a fullback on support, right? Or attack on that side. But it's okay. So this is a bit more attacking. And ooh la la, we almost leveled the match. 3-1. Come on, let's see if we can make changes. Man, this is an epic battle. Clement Lenglet come here. Boubacar Kamara come here. Matty Cash come here. Let's get as many fresh legs as we possibly can. Rui Tillemans come here. Moreno, come here. Okay, all right, let's go. This is it, man. 9 players on the pitch. We've got 9 minutes left and we are 3-2 down and we're looking for an equalizer. Come on, let's go. Come on, Russ. You got fresh legs. Okay, no, that's Diaby. Okay, Konza, Diaby. Oh, Diaby, you stupid schmuck. Go, yeah. Moreno wins the ball. Kamara now with the option to charge. Checks and finds Moreno. It's the equalizer. 3-0 down. We have leveled the match. 3-3. Look at the difference. He's on side. Yeah. So you can do 2 ways on this tactic. Okay, this is 2 ways. Poacher didn't help you out. Because you're a mid-block. Why would you want to play a poacher in a mid-block? So is it a pressing forward or advance forward? Oh, you beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, we came all the way back. We're not going to lose this game. We worked really hard to get back. 3-0 down, 3-3. Okay, not too bad. Ollie Watkins with a hat-trick. So it's yeah, not too bad lah. Why does the game say a poacher needs good? A poacher is a very important role. It's all by himself. So he needs heading. AF is all speed. Right? AF breaks away. Doesn't need to do anything. Poacher is always going to be in and around the defenders. Linking up play. So he needs heading as well. So he's gonna deal with a lot of crosses. Okay, so we've done this. Okay, let's look at the rest of the tactics. We got to pick 1 or 2 lah. Or we're going to talk about all of them depending on the situation I find myself in. Okay. I find myself in the situation where it says we have some tactics. Okay, let's go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Download. And then we do this, we delete. And then we go to downloads and then this. Extract all, browse, select folder, extract. Yeah, it depends. I prefer not using a poacher in a mid-block. All right. But hey, if it works for you, there's just another point of view. Yeah, I'm not saying that your tactic doesn't work. Yeah, but I'm just saying that all I'm saying is that you have to consider, I'm just offering you different ideas next time when you're playing the game. What do I do? I've got this situation. What can I do if I need to, get a go back, for example. So this next tactic, we've got trap outside. Now think about trap outside. This can work against this kind of a tactic. Yeah, definitely can work, right? So wingback on defense. If I'm using wingback, you might as well use inverted fullback. It's a bit better role. I don't think wingback on defense is any good. Yeah, so you can use an inverted fullback on defense. He'll end up in this kind of positions. He'll still be a defense duty, and he won't give up the ball. Wingback on defense, not my favorite role. Slightly lower tempo. I will remove tempo. I just do it like this. Don't play on lower tempos because unless you're playing on positive, you're playing high up the pitch. You don't want to spend too much time dwelling on the ball, for example. Okay, so I better to get out there. Play our defense only good if you have attack duties in the final third. Like you might have 1 or 2 here with a long pass, right? Because you're playing on low tempo as well. Honestly, I'll take this out as well. You don't need this. Yeah. So in this tactic, right? If I were you, the thing is when you do a trap outside, you really want an attack duty on one side of the pitch. Okay, so here we'll put if here you go winger on support or winger on attack. Or here we put a winger here and put inside for here. Okay, so winger and Mazzala not too bad. Mazzala coming here, winger will be wide enough, and then you got an inverted fullback protecting here, and then you got these 2 roles a bit more attacking. This guy can go on attack duty, right? So, but problem is right now you got this play out of defense, but you got nobody attacking that space. If I wanted to play out of defense, I'd have like an attack duty somewhere so that when I have the ball, I can transition it really fast up the pitch. Don't play a BM here. You might lose. You might get out of position. This is okay. Mazzala, winger, DLP on support. I wonder why you have a whole duty here. I mean, if you're a playmaker, yeah. I mean, this is two creative roles. This tactic can also benefit from work ball into box and low crosses. If you are playing a decent team, right, you can get into the final third and score a lot of goals. If your attacks happening too fast, pressing forward will be your role here. Or in this tactic, poacher is also a very good role. So I wouldn't use an AF as a first choice. I start with a poacher, pressing forward, and then go to the AF. So these are the three roles you want to consider. Other than that, I don't think you have any PIs in this tactic. Roll from position, let's not put it here. Okay. Mazala, don't put tackle harder on any one of these. That's all. BPD is fine. Wingback is fine. Yeah, it's okay. If I had a world-class Regista, I'd play a 4-1-3-2. And a Regista beside a Mazala and a Carrello and a CM on attack and two wingbacks going up the pitch. That is like a Regista's. I'll play. That's how I use a Regista. Okay, box. The old box. Enganche against a ball-winning midfielder. Enganche here, no point. Play AP on support and then ask him to roam and move into channels. Then you got poacher, advance forward. Here, this guy can become a fullback on attack, and this guy can really be like a CM on support. You don't ask this guy to roam. Shoot less often is fine. This guy should be a ball-playing defender. Yeah. Now, if you play a roaming playmaker, it's just going to shout, and what happens to this guy? So I probably use this guy more like a D-line playmaker on support, holding his position because he got a fullback. In fact, these two roles can hold position. So you got two roles here. And then if you want him to be a bit more defense, I mean, I wouldn't play ball-winning midfielder here at all. Yeah, you might open up these gaps too much. This guy roaming from position is good. He's going to come into these positions. And then AM or support, you can get a shadow striker going forward. Yeah, so you get two punching through. You got DLP on support, fullback coming off the pitch. Player defense. No. Please don't do that. Yeah, don't. There's no such thing as one touch passing, and I'm going to go player shortest passing possible. Yeah, I just played on normal standard passing directness or play here. But I'll play here because of these two guys are going to be quite far away. So these guys are going to have to bring the ball forward. Sometimes these guys will play longer passes and these guys are far away. Again, this guy is holding his position, drifting. This guy is stay wide. You don't need to give him stay wider. Doesn't need to. Because if you want to, then you play this guy as a box-to-box midfielder. So he goes up and he comes down. Okay. Now when he goes up, this guy is automatically going to shove forward. I wouldn't use a lone DM in this tactic. Probably not. Yeah, I probably wouldn't use one. Yeah, then in this case, right, this guy becomes a ball-winning midfielder on support. Try this. This could be quite funky. CD and then ball-playing defender. Now you could also do something really, really insane. No? Inverted fullback, libero, ball-playing defender, overlap. Then these two inverted wingbacks will come up to these positions and hold these positions, giving you a very, very deadly formation. Because you'll have like inverted fullback, libero coming here in the center, and then a ball-playing defender, and these guys will position themselves here. Right, and then you will pass your way through, and the inverted fullback will definitely be a passing option because he's going to have no resistance down the flanks. So that's the other option that you can do. The inverted fullback box tactic is actually quite fun. Maybe I'll play it on a stream for you guys and show you what I mean. We did a loose balls, we did Revro. Now we look at Jabi, Real, 3-4-2-1. This is mood. Everybody's Trequartista, Regista, wingback. Okay. Yeah, can work. No. Play poacher or pressing for attack. Don't play advance forward. The reason why I don't want you to play advanced forward is because of the track. The track is going to drop and get into the box. And otherwise, your track doesn't get a lot of action, doesn't get a lot of bite because you're playing an advanced forward with basically the focal point of attack. So you might see a lot of balls going forward really quickly. Now here you got libero and here you got same thing. This guy is going to come up here and you don't get a two-man defense. No. Why don't you play libero here? And then play the ball-playing defender here. Actually, no. What you should do is play a ball-playing defender here, libero here on defense. Yeah, you put a libero on defense. This role can be the only problem is these two guys are bombing forward. But if you bomb forward and you put a libero, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't think it's got downside. It's not. It's just my idea with Senior Cup and safe. They're not bad. Tech was designed for Tiki Taka pass. Stay Weather was there because of RPM who will cooperate with Enganche and AMC. Yeah. Try, you should always, I mean, like I said before, these are all just options for you to consider when you're making your tactic. AM and support, take more risk, move in the chance. Going to go here and here. Why? Volante is coming out. Why doesn't the Volante just stay on support? Okay. Now you've got a very secure tactic that doesn't go crazy in the transition. But you can play a Volante on a tank. He goes forward. AM is coming here. Complete wingback goes here. Pressing forward is on defender. So this role is either pressing forward or a poacher. Focus play down the left. And only one fella. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's possible. Yeah. He probably can do this. Get stuck in. Okay. Counter press. But yeah. I'll just make those small changes in the tactic. And yeah, you're using the wings. Here, this guy is on BPD. This is one offset tactic. So always got to worry about the right flank. Just have to worry about the right flank. That's it. Otherwise, possible. You want Zabi's style. I mean, these guys are basically playmakers. No? And these guys are the ones giving all the width. But then that's a different tactic. No? But those small changes can definitely give you options without less, making it too crazy. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, you're playing Manchester United, right? Yeah, but I also remember that whatever worked in the 80s and the 90s is not going to work now. No? A lot of rules change, so the game has to reflect that. A lot of people are still think of those days when it comes to tactics. So it's not always going to work. Because the positional play, for example, didn't exist in the 80s and the 90s. When there was positional play, when tactics as sweepers, there was no what was it? There was no what's the word for it now? They didn't have like players hugging the line, running inside. A lot of the stuff they were doing, holding the position place. Players. I mean, the closest anyone came to that was the Rinus Michels and the Dutcher. When I was looking at tactic the first time, I was not really interested in making changes. Like you got CM and the Manzala and our space inside forward. Focus play to the middle is the only thing I would remove. Yeah. Everyone is coming closer to the center to play the passes. Overlap left, overlap right. Okay, right? I mean, inverted wingers are coming inside. Mark specific position is not my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. Okay, I know a lot of people like doing this. That's to mark, what is it? To mark, let's see. This one is a mark fullback, right back. I mean, I do that as a defensive action. But you see now, he's not marking anyone. Now they have the ball, right? You see does this guy come to the left back? He doesn't want. Does this guy come back? He doesn't come back, right? So this guy, for example, has got mark specific position. Do you see him marking the right back when they have the ball? Let's see, They got, so he's on Wan Bissaka right now as he has the ball, right? So he's tracking Wan Bissaka all the way. So if you want to do that, you have to keep watching the game. Like, okay, there you go. Diaby is not Wan Bissaka anymore. Okay? He's nowhere near him. Is he following him? Now he's just next to him. So that's the reason why I don't really pay attention to, I don't mark unless, I'm desperate for a win. It's a Champions League final. I am Palemo and I'm playing Real Madrid in the final for the first time. I fluked my way to the final. That's when I do it. Yeah. Other than that, I don't. I mean, off the bat, right? I mean, if I were to remove this instruction, would it change the tactic? I don't think so. Yeah, bang. I will remove this, and I will remove this, and I will remove this. I will remove this. I will remove this. Got a lot of mark specific position. Because mark specific position, the problem marking in Football Manager is it's way easier to play the game without it than to play with it. Yeah. Because you're gonna have to the entire game. All you're doing is staring at it. Especially when they change players. I'm looking at the situation going. I'm telling you, it's not going to make a huge difference to your tactic. And the only time I'll struggle right now is if, right, like I'd rather do this. I see these guys, right? Anthony, weaker foot. This guy, weaker foot. Then this guy, I don't know what this instruction is. What the hell? I mean, like, okay. I suddenly forgot already. Trigger press, tackling. Yes, I do this on the guys. Like, I'll pick players, no? I'll target them. So that's the easier way to do it. No? Yeah. So I would do that like that in a game. Instead of like going in and like marking specific players. Because honestly, that marking, like for example, the marking wouldn't have happened on a set piece as well. Like that. Now if you're on a mark, right? Football Manager, you know how the marking works. The most effective marking is this. No? I go to Buendia, right? I come in here. I look at the specific, instead of looking at specific position, I go to the tactic itself. Position. Buendia is playing on the right, so I want him to mark Anthony. No, mark Rashford. So I go to Buendia and tell him to specifically mark Rashford. Or in this case, Diego Dalo. Okay. Then this guy, Diaby, to come in here, mark specifically and Wan-Bissaka. Now that is much more effective. I don't know why, but the other one is a lot more effective. Because then you can actually go to the game and then go and they will chase that player down. Again, I have reported this as a bug to SI because, like for example, now we set that one up, right? Okay. Are they tracking him? Now the question is, are they tracking him, right? Okay, now you go. Wan-Bissaka, Diaby is next to him. This guy? Now he goes, right? Diaby is left him. Look at that. Now, you remember what we did with Lindelof? We had the trigger press, hard tackle. That's trigger press hard. This is back is turn, right? So, guess who's here? Diaby has chased him down. See, notice that this is way more effective than this. See, I had this Anthony. I remember what I did with these two guys, right? So, if I come in here now, and I remove this, and I remove this, okay, I find that OI to set up, like go and chase down that player is a lot more effective. So it's not marking for the sake of marking. He's like, okay, I see the player, he's got the ball, he's turned his back, I'm going for him. So the instructions are more direct. So that's how I feel. Of course, feel free to ignore me and carry on with the mark if you find that this is good. But overall, the tactic is still fine. Yeah, I don't think there's too much wrong with this tactic. Because the only problem with 4-3-3 is, as I've always said, right, 4-3-3 suffer from the ignominy of having 7 players defending. I never like the 4-3-3 because it has all these players defending. So what I normally like to do is this. Some of my 4-3-3s are extremely attacking. So we got libero, wing back, we got one-man defense. Okay. All right, now I got one-man defense. Now I play a one-man defense. So because I want to go for a goal, right? So I got 3, that one-man defense. I'm only interested in getting the goal. So I'm taking a lot of risks with the 4-3-3. Especially if I'm playing like a match I absolutely want to win. Then I'll do this. So these are options you have with a 4-3-3. In a 4-3-3, you can play as aggressive. You can play very aggressively. But because there are 7 players defending, that's the reason why I play so aggressively. So if I were you, you can keep the tactic as it is, but consider removing the specific mark specific position. I don't think that your tactic needs that many changes. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. I would leave it the way it is. But if you want to, like, you find yourself in a similar situation like me and you want to win the game desperately, then go one man defender. Then you play like this. Then you guys see all got a number of players we have attacking now. Of course, this is risky. And if you don't have a deep, meaning you don't have fit players, you're going to struggle because you're getting a lot of players to attack. But this is definitely an option if you find yourself in a situation where you are looking to win desperately. Football and tactics change. In the older FMs, you could give a free role to anyone except goalkeeper. Now, last time in the older roles, you can actually, I think we could train the striker, the defender as a goalkeeper or the striker as a goalkeeper. I don't know. We had all kinds of funky things. What else do you think that best describe Pedri? None of the above. It's more like, I wouldn't say any role best described. I don't do that, no? Vidoria. In the game of Football Manager, AM best describes Pedri and Olmo. I don't believe in a role playing a player and saying, oh, this player is more of a this. No, it all depends on the tactic I'm creating and how I want Pedri and Olmo to play. Then I would set the tactic up with that in mind. So it depends the formation and how the other roles. I could play Pedri as a segundo volante if I want to play a deep tactic. I mean, it depends on the formation you want, right? Pedri and Olmo, I probably play them as APs. Yeah. More like roaming, attacking playmakers. That's how I play them. I'll play them in that way so that I can get the best out of them tactically, if I'm attacking with the team. All right, guys. So that concludes another episode of Diagnosis where I play with your tactics and I offer my insights. I mean, whatever insights I have to offer, they're worth offering. So thank you very much for popping in today. Tomorrow, we shall continue with our Hungary, rebuild Hungary safe. We're doing okay. We got new tactics that we're using on Hungary because we always get bored. So thank you very much. I shall see you tomorrow. Meanwhile, you guys, thanks for sending those tactics in. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. I shall see you tomorrow.